And I wonder why that is.
Hmm.
Why do you think that is, Randy?
Maybe it's to balance the scales. That's the only thing I could think of. It starts to get to a point where it's a bit too, I guess, ridiculous on one side, and they're like, it's a balanced show. Let's put it like that. That needs to happen, and one can't perform without the other. So if one starts to get too heavy, the other one needs to come, let I guess, get raised up to then
No,
balance it out.
I agree that one can't exist with the other. And I don't know how interesting, I'll say interesting, I was going to say fun, but we'll say interesting. I don't know how interesting life would be if you just had one.
Yeah,
Even just all light, it would be interesting
yeah, it
Be-
definitely would be interesting.
because then you have just this sterile version of what everybody thinks you should do. You have to have conflict as humans. We thrive on conflict, right? We thrive on overcoming, we thrive on education, we thrive on all these things
Mhm.
that are sparked because of conflict, right?
And it's funny because the Matrix, going back to a movie reference,
Yeah, yeah.
Agent Smith talks about that
Hmm.
when he's interviewing Morpheus. He talks about how they created a euphoria and
And then
everyone
and
rejected the program. Nobody
yep,
wanted it.
that is my
So
favorite reference to tap into because it's like humans they can't live without chaos. They can't live
yeah.
without conflict. That's part of who we are. And it's very true. So the light is there, the dark is there, and dark isn't always bad. There are people who choose a path of devotion that many of us might consider dark. And I'm not going to name anything because I don't want to upset anybody because
Hmm.
that's what they choose. And it to me, dark magic or whatever it is that you do, it's not about what you do, it's about what you do with it,
Right.
right? So if they're
Indeed.
just living their life and doing their thing and not coming after people and not trying to shift people's will and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
that's just who they are and it is what it is.
Yeah. Indeed.
And so we can all live in balance. It's when society starts to shift because people are trying to affect people's will. People are
Yeah.
trying to affect how, change the direction so that they benefit.
Hmm.
Then it starts to get sticky.
Right.
And that's usually when a big surge of light workers come in and we start seeing the renaissance in in a process. And it's interesting to me watching it because I remember when I was a child, there was a big surge and there's crazy stuff going on back then that I was not really conscious of because I was a child.
Right.
I talked to, people my parents' age and my grandparents' age, and they talk about all the stuff that was happening, and I don't even remember because I was so young. But
Right.
it nothing like what's going on today.
Yeah.
Nothing like what's going on today. And so more more people are needed now than were needed back then. And
Right.
so people are waking up from in the strangest places, lawyers like, I'm gonna stop doing this and I'm gonna give up everything and I'm gonna go to a monastery and I'm gonna be a healer.
Yeah.
Just people are coming from strange places because they're being tapped all over the place,
Mm.
which I think is magnificent, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's interesting to watch, but how do you do it? Because I don't know about you, my friend, but it's coming to me hard and fast. Like I'm being hit with a mallet. Today
Yeah.
you're gonna do a kapow, and
Every
it's
time you turn around, there's like another hit. You're like, wait, 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 what?
like I'm not ready. I'm not ready for you. Give me a second, okay? Because I'm still processing yesterday.
Right.
And so that physicality conversation is real because that's what they're telling me is like we got to get you healthy. Why do you got to get me healthy? I mean, I want to
Mhm.
be healthy.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I want to be healthy and glowy. I want to be healthy.
Hmm.
But why do I need to be healthy?
Right.
And the answer I got is because you have a lot of work to do. And it's kind of scary, right? Like
It is because I kind of got the same answer where I start to see people, climbing mountains and taking these hikes and going to these
Right,
remote places. And I'm like, okay,
right.
well, in my condition right now, I can't do that. And they were like, well, that's why. So I'm like, okay, well, I get it because those are the places that need to be, you know, visited and attained.
Yes.
That way I can do what I need to do.
Right. You got to be able to get there and you got to be able to take also
Yeah.
everything and it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of your system to give to
Hmm.
people. And whether you're speaking, whether you're healing, whether you're teaching, whatever your work that is that you're doing, it takes a lot out of you. And if you're physically weak,
Hmm.
if you're physically not healthy and there are organs that need to be strong in your system,
Hmm.
as a healer, your filtering system has to be strong. So you're talking about your kidneys and all of that has to be strong.
Hmm.
If your heart has to be strong. So your lungs have to be strong because all the breathing, so all these things have to be strong enough to take you through what you need to do. So that's why it's
Right.
important that you engage your system and talk to your system and help your system see, go to your doctor to get what the doctor says. The doctor wants to fill you full of meds. I'm
Hmm.
very fortunate. I have a doctor that doesn't like medicine.
That's good.
So when I went through my health crisis, of course, I came out of the hospital with a box full of meds,
Yeah.
and she's reduced that to two meds that I literally am almost completely off of.
Nice.
So if you really sit and focus and listen to what your system needs, um, and trust it, you'll find yourself shifting.
Hmm.
But please do not take your medical practitioner out of the conversation.
Yeah. It's a gradual
Yeah,
shift.
yeah.
It's
Don't take
something
her.
that you kind of have to, hey, you have to graduate. It's kind of like walking, right? It's like walking,
Yes.
running, jumping. All that stuff is a gradual build that you have to kind of, go through. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's the same thing as what you said, right? It takes work. Everything takes work and it doesn't happen instantly. So sometimes you have to be patient, give yourself the grace, and just put in the work.
For real. And, you know, I learned the hard way. And people used to, they would say to me when I was going through what I went through, because I was in a really dark space. I was really sad, just low space when I came out of the hospital the second time, trying to figure out why it happened, what am I going to do? I'm in the bed, I can't walk. How am I going to live this life not being able to walk anymore? The downness almost took me. It was really bad. And people used to
Hmm.
ask me that you're so spiritual, why can't you just connect? And it's easy to say that.
Yeah.
And I really feel that part of my journey was to go through that because now I'm in a whole different space
Hmm.
from where I was then. And I like to say I get it. And
Right.
I get it because we are so disconnected. We are so disconnected right now.
Hmm.
And you can see it just in society. People flare up, just flare up.
Oh yeah,
Like,
at the drop of a dime.
yeah, just like, why are you so mad? Like, just
Hmm.
breathe. They have so much stuck in them.
Yeah.
And like, how are you going to get all that stuff out? If you want to be healthy, you got to get all that stuff out.
Yeah.
And I don't mean you got to be that guy, that gal, like, hey man, it's chill, groovy man.
Oh yeah, no.
You don't have to be that guy. You can still be human. You can get
Yeah.
mad. Think there are reasons to be angry. You can still drink a glass of wine.
Yeah.
I'm not the person saying that you have to be perfect. Drink water, don't
Hmm.
drink alcohol, don't smoke no this, don't do no that. I am not that person.
Yeah.
You do what you feel is right for you
Agreed.
in moderation, please.
Yeah, everyone has their own path and their own
Yeah.
journey, and sometimes it's just a matter of you finding what works for you by listening sometimes to other people's path and journey. And back to a movie reference, The Never-Ending Story. I'm listening to that the other day, and there is a part where Atreyu goes through the swamp of sadness, and
Oh yeah.
he ends up losing Artax, his horse, because he couldn't get over the sadness, and that's a a good reference to a lot, right? Where it's like you kind of sometimes you have to pull yourself or have someone that helps you pull yourself out of the sadness because it can get overwhelming and it can feel over cumbersome sometimes.
And it can take you.
Yeah, it can.
It can take you, and it can take you, and seek out resources if that's who you are, because
Yes,
you
indeed.
you deserve to be here. There's no reason to be anywhere else. So please look for help if that's you.
Hmm.
Or it can just take you and delay you. It can leave you in a funk and you can just stay there for days and weeks
Yeah.
and months and years
Hmm.
until you come out, which is going to delay the wonderful purpose, the wonderful reason why you're here. Because the one thing that happens when you're in, the swamp of darkness and
Yeah.
sadness is that you forget that you have purpose, that your life has meaning.
So much positive, so
Yeah.
much purpose, so much light.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like a rainy day. Sometimes it's just clouds blocking the sun. And sometimes it's just waiting for the sun to come out. Sometimes you just have to go to a different area where the sun is and the clouds are not there. It really just depends on, your mentality at that point. But, to stay there and not know that you're a light or a positive force that's to be reckoned with, that you have so much to give in this world, it's not something that anyone should ever have to feel like they're going through alone.
Oh, and that right there, we are not alone.
Hmm.
Even when we are alone, we're not alone,
Hmm.
because we're surrounded.
Yes.
And you have your guides, you have friends from this life, past life,
Yeah.
and ancestors around you all the time. And
Hmm.
they speak to us. And if you're not a person who can receive, because that in and of itself is a gift, and we could talk about the clairs one day.
Yes.
If you can't see or hear them, you can journal. I
Oh yeah.
journal, I journal all the time, and you can sit and talk to them while you're journaling.
Hmm.
And as someone who's lost their mother, my mother was that person for me. And when I lost her, it was devastating. But I talk to her now, and
Hmm.
it's just she can give that same wonderful, loving mommy support that
Yeah.
she gave me when she was here, because she's still here.
Yeah. Definitely.
And some people struggle with that. I think we all struggle with that.
I think we do. I think everyone does. And I think
Yeah.
it's sometimes you just forget, or sometimes you don't want to hear that because you want something, physical.
Yeah.
We have the society that tells us if we can't see it, touch it, smell it, taste it, it's not real.
Oh,
And
for real.
that is right in some instances, but there's a lot that's not seen, not felt, not heard, not touched, and it's still there. It's still
Oh,
there
yeah.
for you, and you can still access it. It's just
Yeah.
a matter of, are you willing to let yourself feel it? Are you willing to
Yeah.
allow yourself to open to it,
Yeah. Yeah, that willingness, that courage, that
Hmm.
that leap of faith,
Yeah.
knowing that, and then knowing the difference, because that's the other part.
Yes.
Like, is this some sort of weird dark thing trying to talk to me? And recognizing that this is a support person coming to talk to you. I think it's important to really understand that when you create a space for yourself, where
Hmm.
you're safe and protected, the dark forces isn't, they're not going to come in and talk to you. It's
No.
not it's not like the movies where it's like they're there, and they're like,
Yeah. It's your own discernment. You kind
yeah,
of have to know about it.
and just, put up your protection, do what you have to do if you feel like that's what you need to do. But it's we invite them or we reject them. It's like the vampires. They can't come into your house unless you invite them in.
Right.
It's not as simple as that.
Hmm.
Um, People can send you stuff, and we can talk about that, another day,
Yes.
because I think that's important, because there are people that'll send stuff at you. Sometimes they'll do it on purpose, and sometimes they do it unknowingly, because if you are a powerful being and
Hmm.
somebody makes you mad, you're like, I'm mad at you. You may be sending stuff at them and you don't realize you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the most part, when you feel like somebody's sending you stuff, I get that sometimes. When you feel like it's happening, and there are things that you can do about it. But
Hmm.
it's not for you. Don't welcome stuff.
Right.
Don't think about it. Don't look at it and say, "Hey, that's that stuff coming at me." Because what's going to
Hmm.
happen? It's going to
Yeah,
come
it's
at
gonna
you.
come at you, right?
Going to come at you. So just don't live in a state of fear that you're afraid as you go out in the world that people are going to be zapping you with
Hmm.
some sort of psionic friggin' energy beam.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's how you end up being a hermit, right?
that
You
is
end up being closed in and you don't want to step
having
outside. You don't want to do,
having no life. Nobody
yeah.
needs to live like that. We want to
No.
live open and free. So there's a lot to unpack there, and we can do that. We have all the time in the world. There's a
Oh, yeah.
lot to unpack there, but I think the
Mhm.
biggest thing that I'm walking away with from our discussion is that remember that as you think about your spiritual development and your spiritual growth and in the vein of demystifying the mystical, that we are
Mhm.
body, mind, and spirit. It's always body, mind, and spirit.
Yes.
It's never spirit, mind, and body. It's body, mind, and spirit. Your physicality is the most important element in this triune that is you.
Mm.
Okay. So if
Hmm.
you're not taking care of yourself, and taking care of yourself doesn't mean that we all look like movie stars. And the movie stars look very hungry these days. Like they
Yeah.
don't eat. So I don't want to look like one of those. But it's not about how thin you are,
Hmm.
how muscular you are. It's about being healthy. And
Yeah.
what we don't seem to project in our society is that people are going to look different and still be healthy.
Exactly. You
Some
don't
of
have
us,
to be a bodybuilder to
yeah,
be healthy.
nope.
Because there are bodybuilders now
That
dropping
are not
with heart
healthy
attacks that are not
because they're
healthy.
not healthy
Yeah.
because they're taking enhancement drugs and stuff which are
Hmm.
affecting their body. So be healthy. Some people, it's in our DNA that we have a little bit of chubbiness here and there. And if you fight that, sometimes you can make yourself unhealthy trying to
Yeah.
fight that because you're trying to get a specific look, or we go have surgery and have things sucked off and stuck on because we're trying to have a specific look.
Yeah.
You gotta love yourself.
Yes. That's the basis of it
Yeah.
all.
If you want your body to really talk to you, it's like
You
any
have
other
to love it where it
relationship.
is.
It's
Yeah.
like any other relationship. If you want your lover, your spouse, your best friend to be a really great person with you,
Hmm.
you have to communicate with them. You have to talk to them a certain way. If you're just yelling at them and abusing them, it's not going to be a great relationship.
Yeah, indeed.
So the first thing you have to do to have a great relationship with your body is you have to love it.
You have to love it where it is.
And if you're not going to love it,
Hmm.
you know, I used to tell people when I was a spiritual coach, when people would come to me looking for, they want to have a relationship. So they want to, how can I get a relationship? I'm trying to develop a relationship. I'm looking for Mr. Right, Mrs. Right. And my thing is, well, how do you feel about you? And if they have, well, I don't like this about me, I'm going to therapy for this, I'm hating this. And if you need to go to therapy, please go to therapy. It's good to
Yes,
work through your
definitely.
stuff. So
Talk about it.
therapy is a good thing.
Hmm.
Um, but if you don't love you, how are you going to get somebody else to love you?
Hmm.
That's why you end up in all these awful relationships because
Yeah.
you're projecting what you want, somebody who feels about you the way you do.
You have to know you and love you before you can start to love someone else.
Love your body.
Yes.
Love it enough that you'll do what you need to do to take care of it. If your body's craving more better nutrition, like I juice now. I
Yeah.
came back from Montana. My body's like, we used to juice. When I juiced years ago, I was the healthiest when I was a dancer and everything, and I juiced. I was the healthiest I've ever been.
Mm.
And it's been a long time. And, I stopped juicing because life happened. And juicing was complicated back in the day.
Yeah.
I juiced alongside Jack LaLanne. For you young people probably don't know who he is, but he had a thing. You juiced, and you had these extractors, and they were messy, and they pull it. Now these juicers are just all combined. It's so much easier to juice now. But my skin is glowing and my body is getting healthy. That's what my body wanted.
Yeah.
Okay. If you talk to your body and let your body sing to you, your body will tell you what it wants.
Right.
And if you need some help with that, we can help you with that in terms of giving you some more notes on that or having a session or anything that you need, but it's about taking the time to go within
Hmm.
and all the things that you do when you go within. A lot of times when we're taught how to meditate, we go through the process. I don't know if you've gone through this, but like, okay, now your toes, relax your toes, and you take it up your body to relax. It's a
Yep.
similar process. You just talk to it. You can talk to the part of your body that's in pain. You could talk to the part of your body that's not working the way you want it to work it.
Yeah.
You could talk to the part of your body if you're concerned there might be something there. If you tap into something and you think there might be something there, now you can go to your doctor. Here's the thing about doctors. Sometimes you gotta make them look at stuff.
Yeah. You gotta
Always,
kind of point them in the
yeah,
direction. Hmm.
always remember it is your doctor.
Hmm.
They work for you. So that was a good talk. I like that. That was good. How do you feel about
That
that,
was good. I
Randy?
felt that was good. I felt really good about that.
I did too. So we will see you next time. For those of you, I hope you guys come to the circle this week so that we can do our healing. We do it every week on Saturday. It's been a while, so we're back and going. So, stay with
Yeah,
us and tune in, and we'll see you guys next time.
definitely. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Have a good one.